Welcome back everybody to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel, and I am moving forward with my rescue attempts for this Singer 99 or 99K to be more specific. And I am a strong believer in particularly these straight stitch Singers. They can take a lot of abuse. They shouldn't, but they unfortunately this machine, you know, who knows how many times it was passed around. It obviously sat for a long time. And so today I wanted to show you one of the things I thought I would do. This is certainly not the last thing. I've got quite a lot to do with this machine. However, if I can draw your attention down here, I am going to attempt to clean up the original, not the original to this machine, but a Singer 66 bobbin plate, which is completely compatible with the Singer 99 because they are variations on the same machine. Now normally when I'm going to polish something, even something that has some oxidation or corrosion, I often go to this Wienal polish. It says Reckitt Benckiser. It's made in Germany, I believe. And you will also see this same polish or something similar under the name Autosol, I believe. I got this in a hardware store, but you can also purchase something similar in some car parts retailers, or you can find it online. Normally I begin with this and it normally works great. However, I've got lots of oxidation on this needle plate here. And so I was thinking, maybe before I go to the polish, and I will use some of the polish, I'm going to see if something that I have used before on stubborn corrosion will work on this plate. This is Barkeeper's Friend. Now, Barkeeper's Friend, I always just thought it was a cleanser. They have a dry, this is the liquid version, but it has an acid base, and I have found it works amazingly well at helping to lift corrosion or tarnish. And we'll see, right? I've been shaking it up really good there. And now I am just going to take, I guess you could use your finger if your skin is sensitive, but let's just grab I'll just grab a cotton swab here and smear it around. And it's not a bad idea to kind of let this sit for a bit because it needs time to do its thing. And very often, and if you think, you can even see some of the stuff already coming off on the cotton swab. Sometimes the Barkeepers will work quickly and sometimes it needs a little more time. There is a spray version of Barkeepers. I bought it and tried it and I was not pleased, at least not for the things I was using it for. You might have better experiences with the product though, because you never know. Sometimes maybe I'm not using the product right, or maybe it's just the wrong product for the wrong task. And anyway, I'm just going to let that sit for a moment. And while I'm doing that, I thought I would sort of basically speak a little bit more about this 99K and how I think it is going to run again. I may be proven wrong, famous last words, but straight stitch Singers, from anywhere from the beginning of Singer all the way up through, I want to say 1960 or so. Singer was unusual in that they were keeping machines in production for far longer than a lot of their competitors did, and they had a lot of success with them, and all the costs of engineering and having all the dies cast for all the pieces were long since paid for. So you know, they were being outsold. If you look right behind the Singer, you will see the white manufacturer made in Japan. That is many years later, and of course it has more features, but and I expect that machine to be doing okay. But I would say that if you have a straight stitch Singer, like just a dedicated straight stitcher, many of them were in black, not all, but a lot of these were done in the classic, it's almost an iconic look, like a Coca-Cola bottle. These machines They don't all survive, as you well know from watching this channel, but the vast majority of them are just incredible. They're simple, relatively, and some of the most robust consumer items I've ever seen, sewing machine or not. Okay, what do we got going here with our... So I'm going to test this and see if I'm getting any, well, yeah, stuff's coming off there. Keep in mind that this machine, I don't know where it was stored. It had, you know, sometimes if something has a funky smell, it might have been stored in a basement or in an area that had high humidity. You know, some of this sort of white cream of this liquid Barkeepers is now turning brown. That's a good sign. It means it's doing something. I've been really surprised at how effective this product is, and I have no sponsors here. They don't know me from Adam. That it's fairly, it works fairly quickly, because now I have gotten it on my hands. Some of you may prefer to wear gloves with this, because anytime you're dealing with anything that's acidic or alkaline, you know, most cleaners are they either go toward the acidic side or the alkaline side to do their thing. And like I said, the polish that I'm going to finish up with this on this plate, the polish is very effective, and sometimes it will clean like corrosion. I've done that, but in this case, this seemed kind of rougher than normal. And whatever that goo is, that dark colored goo it's coming off. I don't know what it is. It could be old oil. I don't know. Maybe someone spilled coffee on it. You know, who knows when you think of a consumer item that is as old as these are, sometimes you get a machine that's been a one owner. That's always exciting to me. I occasionally get those, but with others, people are either, you know, very often I'm the last stop before they just toss it in the recycling, and that's unfortunate, because we should never throw anything away, even if it's going to be recycled, if it can still be used. And it's something that, you know, it's sort of a value I think I learned from my parents and my grandparents in particular. But the other thing that helps me appreciate these machines is that the people who purchase them, they often had to make payments. These things were not cheap. And if you were to try to make a machine like this, even just a straight stitcher, you'd spend, the customer would have to pay up, you know, at least a couple $1,000s for even just a basic machine, because of the quality, you know, that goes into them. So now on the back, it's very important that the back be clean, because we've got these grooves, and remember, it's going to install on this sort of butterfly shaped flap, for lack of a better term. Singer may have an official word for it, but we'll put a little more Barkeepers here and do a little more cotton swab polishing. I swear I should start buying stock in cotton swab companies, because I sure go through a lot of them. And as I was saying, you want these grooves to be clean. Usually the only thing you see on here, if anything, is some old oil, but you know, I'm in for a penny and for a pound here. Might as well just get the whole thing cleaned. Now, you may notice at times when you're using anything to clean metal, whether it's the polish or this Barkeepers, or maybe you have something else you prefer to use, you may sometimes notice that no matter how hard you try, you get most everything off, but sometimes you may notice what looks to your eyes like a stain, and it might be some kind of staining that's going on. And that, you know, you may just clean it really well, and if the metal is a little discolored, that's fine. You can still go ahead and polish the metal, and it'll function just fine. You know, the expression of perfect being the enemy of good enough. And that doesn't mean you don't set your sights high, but I have to remind myself of that, because I typically don't like to stop, and I keep thinking, well, I can get it, you know, everything can be perfect, but that's not how most things go. So I've got a sort of a old towel here. I'm gonna just get the bulk of this off with the towel. Well, compared to what this thing looked like before, I'm okay with that. There's a little pitting on the finish. These were often pitted with either nickel or some sort of chrome plating. It's actual steel, but it's plated with something to give it the mirror finish. Again, I'm not a metallurgist, and did I say that word right? And I don't know for sure what they used. And so now that I've gotten the Barkeepers off here, now I'm going to come back with my polish. It doesn't take much. This polish is not cheap, but once you buy I mean, I've had this for years now. You know, I think maybe I've used maybe not even half of it. It goes a very long way, so you don't need to drown anything in this polish, right? You just need to, you want to spread it around. I think I might let that sit on there a little bit. I normally don't polish the bottom. However, in this case, I'm going to, and the reason is it's not for aesthetics. You know, if the plate stays where it belongs, you may never look at the bottom of the plate. I'm actually doing it because when you polish metal, it's not just to make it look shiny or pretty to some people's eyes. It actually is, it's like puts a coat of, as if you were putting a coat of wax on it. So it can help prevent further staining. It can help prevent oxidation. And let's see if, and you know that something is being cleaned because notice when I rub into it, I'm getting the polish on the cotton swab, but I'm also getting a little bit of gray there. And this is, once you get to this point with your plate, let's say you have a needle plate, bobbin plate, clutch knob. These are the most common plated pieces on a sewing machine. Once you get to that point, you know, just once you've polished it up, take a look at it, and once you've cleaned it up, then it's really up to you to decide, well, you know, how much do you want to do? You know, how many passes do you want to make? There's functional, and there's, as I just said, there's a reason I want to make sure this is clean because this plate needs to slide properly. But at some point, you know, the rest of it becomes either overkill or perfectionism, depending on your definition, and that is totally up to you. I want to make sure that the plate slides properly, but I don't. I try really hard not to tell people what to like, because aesthetics is very subjective, and who am I to tell you what looks pretty? That you can decide that for yourself. I might tell you what certain things I'm drawn to, but I like to preface anytime I say that with, hey, that's just what I'm drawn to. You know, I'm drawn to designs that other people might think are not particularly beautiful. So, you know, that's where I don't think anyone needs anyone on YouTube to tell them what looks attractive. I think you can figure that out on your own. But it's fun to look at different items. And so there we go. I'm rather pleased with that, to be honest. I mean, it's even got a shine. You know, the polish gave it the shine, but I could have tried the polish alone, but I think the Barkeeper's Friend really helped sort of get me further along. And you can buy Barkeeper's Friend a little cheaper than the polish, so why not? And so the only thing that will be left to do, although I always recommend that you be very sparing when you put sewing machine oil anywhere near your bobbin case, because that's where lint and oil come together and they create a little bit of a blob mess. But I will probably put, you know, well, heck, I'll do it right now. Let's put, I'm just going to put one drop on that track, one on that track. It doesn't look like much, But when you take a cotton swab, and I don't need it to be as heavily oiled, say, the way the moving parts of the machine are, so I'm just going to take that oil and spread it. It's a very, very thin film, and that's all we want, right? We're not looking to, this is just a thin film that will encourage the plate to slide and go where it needs to go. Now, some people believe you should, and you can do this as well, I could take one drop here, okay? But don't leave it all oily like this. Once you cover the plate, and honestly, I think the metal polish is probably going to do everything you need to kind of keep the metal sealed so it won't rust or oxidize. But if you want to, you can take a drop of sewing machine oil and give it one last. I didn't put any oil here on the top, but I really think, whether you're going to use the polish or oil, this plate should be good to go for quite some time. I'm not really worried about the plate suffering from any more oxidation. So, for those of you who may have a machine that you own, or maybe you just found one and you thought, oh, this will make a great machine, but I've got this discolored or oxidized metal parts. What can I do? And this is how I handle it. It didn't take me very long. In fact, it took me longer to ramble on in this video and talk to you about it than it took to actually do the cleanup. So I hope this is helpful. Always remember that anytime you use any product cleaning, whether it can be Barkeepers, it can be this polish, anything, you always want to try it. I mean, a lot of these labels have disclaimers say, please try on an inconspicuous spot. And that is actually a good idea because, again, this is especially true with sewing machine, paint. It can be very delicate. But anytime you're using a chemical product of any kind, you want to check and make sure that it's not going to cause harm to your machine. It's only been rare instances in the past when that happened to me, but it just taught me, it doesn't take long. Just, find a spot somewhere and test it. And if the machine's happy with it, then it should be happy wherever else you're putting it. So there you go. Happy and shiny once again. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next video.